All right. Well, welcome to New York, world famous New York, otherwise known as New Amsterdam or Old Tartary. So I'm just gonna walk over here for a second. Should I? Brittany's here with us, by the way, recent Tartarians. What's up? How's it going? Just making sure we get this done. We're gonna try to get across the street safely. I want you guys to see this giant rat statue because it's cool. Oh, and this car is coming. New York waits for no man or woman or anybody. Okay, so over here is the cityscape. This is so real. I'm gonna get killed in New York by a bicyclist. That's how I died. That's what I thought would happen to me actually, but in Denmark, I was like, okay. So you guys want to see some kind of interesting stuff in Williamsburg, which supposedly it's like a hipster place, but really what it is it's like a really old neighborhood. They got cheap for a while, and then they got really expensive because people moved into it. And everyone who owns it moved out, and then they just kind of rent it out. In the whole neighborhood, though, you're all along this water line, and then there's all of these towers. So there's the smoke tower right there. All of these chimneys. And we noticed they started putting 5G antennas on all of the chimneys, which is like, yeah, of course, that's where they're gonna go. It's interesting. Also, these gold Sequitech roofs, and then look at the spiral building there. We got to go to some of the other zones of New York to see more of it, but I thought this would be like a good first spot. Yeah, checking out hipsters. Oh yeah. Also, try not to. We wanted to not look too weird, like normie, so we thought like culturally appropriating Tartarian garb would be okay. But I've gotten some weird looks from both, old ladies and rabbis.
The shirt or the hat, we don't know.
I'm not sure what it is. It might be that this is like Tartarian,
The pants. I mean, did you get the full?
What, these? Is that not okay? It's probably because the red and the blue is so patriotic they don't know what to do with themselves. Hey! Wait, I gotta read that. Oh, where was it? Comments. I want one of those hats. I know, right? Pilgrim hats, Puritan hats are so cool. I actually kind of like it.
Around the holidays, it's nice.
I mean, I kind of want to get a rainbow version of it because this looks a little serious and puritanical for a fellow such as myself. But it's a start. All right, what do we walk? We walk a while.
It's a hand turkey on that, but
yeah, let's go towards that hand turkey thing. New York, first New Amsterdam. New Zealand. New Zealand is that a Dutch colony? But probably what happened was a large landmass that was Solent, because Zealand is from Solent, was kind of destroyed in Lemuria. I kind of think Solent might have been the Lemurian continent, but that's just a hypothesis right now. These are the breaks. It takes a while to learn. Yeah, we got this down on lock. But like, look at this crazy. This is like, New York has got this vibe to it. I get it, it's a vibe. You see all those like gold roof towers and stuff like that. I don't know. It's pretty great. There was some stuff we should have talked about. Robert Moses. Hey, thanks a lot. Wow, Queenie is the best. Thanks, Queenie. Queenie sent me like a special supporter thing. We love special supporters. Yay. So, next up here, want to go with that and see the water tower? This is a water tower right there. Hard to see. So, we can't go down too far that direction because that's the water line. We have to go towards the bridge or something. But we could walk, see, like if we walk up that way, then we can get towards that tower thing. Let's go this way though for now. So, the thing that I've noticed so far is Robert Moses was a guy, obviously, who did the city planning for New York City in the early 20th century. And he created this organization that was kind of like a parks and urban planning commission, but it's only a name. It's kind of like FedEx, like it's not really it was not like a government oversaw organization. And in a lot of ways, he had more power than the mayor because he could never be removed and he could put people into power and take them out. And he was untouchable, like even by the garbage industry, which in New York. But so what they ended up doing was setting up the bridges where they could collect tolls, and then from each of the tolls, he would make enough money to design a city, and he would actually put people like into sections. This is also what they did to the original Central Park plan, which we'll go to Central Park later as well. And Central Park was a shanty town that eventually became a park. They kicked everyone out, and they started telling people where they could live. So Robert Moses said you could have only white people living in these neighborhoods, and these other neighborhoods should be Jewish neighborhoods, and these neighborhoods should be black neighborhoods. And this was not the way things were before. There were Irish people, black people, French people, all living very close to each other with Italians. It was kind of interesting how the boroughs were more before Robert Moses, and now things have become kind of more mixed again. But because of the way ownership works, some of the older landlords are still the same people. And Williamsburg became, because of Robert Moses, sort of a Jewish neighborhood. The Bronx became sort of a Italian and Jewish and then black neighborhood. And let's see, Harlem went from being a Swedish neighborhood to being a black neighborhood, all by economic control of at this time. But what's interesting also is that these were great locations, all of these places. So the infrastructure there, it outlasts the memories of any one group of people that have passed through New York. You think of New York and you think of the fetishization of urbanism and the bricks more than you think about any one generation of people representing New York. So I find that fascinating. Also, as we're walking by the East River State Park, which this might be the entrance finally found.
Yes. It's not so bad.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Isn't it great though how many brick buildings there are here? It's just like
Totally crazy.
oh yeah, well,
No method to the madness.
it's okay. These steps are kind of like cobblestone streets in Tartaria. Pretty familiar. Look at these glass towers too. No, you need texture on your feet. If you don't like see texture where you're walking, you're doing it wrong. There should always be some like hill for your foot to navigate. Just on a side note.
It's gotta go on a t-shirt. I like that.
I've seen when I was in LA, these architects were working on the future of like urban planning, and it's all these rolling hills made out of cardboard that are like they're like grid patterns that like fit together, like, and then they have hollowed hills. And when you step on the hill, it absorbs some piezoelectricity, which lights it up, and it'll be a nice future. So let me flip this guy around. Toronto was York. Yeah, Toronto's the real York. Good call. Good call. Who said that? Oh no, get out. It's a Peel movie. Yeah, no, actually, fun fact, that's totally true. And this was New Amsterdam. So, dude, look at, what's that movie? The Swans in 1991, whatever. Fly Away Home.
Okay.
Amen, sister.
That one.
Amen,
Okay.
sister. Fly Away Home. Oh yeah. Gets me right here.
I only saw that one once.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna see that again with projection. Probably make me see it again. By Zine. All right. So a second ago we were talking about New Amsterdam. There was a star fort in New York, which we will visit. There's a number of them actually. One of them is still there. It's the Statue of Liberty is on top of it. Another one is not there anymore because when New Amsterdam was a place. Hold on, I'm gonna look at this habitat thing for a while. Check this out. Isn't it amazing? That's amazing. These birds, they travel all over the place. Some of these birds come from really warm places, or will they go back to there? But it's interesting that they hang out in such cold places. Like we found canaries in London, you know, it's like, actually, what do we know about some of these migratory birds, the flyaway system? And this is why Daffy Duck wears a collar, like a MK Ultra Priest thing, because it's like, that's the first system of weather pattern trackings, is tracking birds. Fun fact. So let's walk down to the water line. So when New Amsterdam was a colony, they had a wall, and they said, "Hey, everybody, you guys go ahead and defend us." The Yorkers came down, invaded, and at this time, you have to understand the British were controlled by the Jacobins, and the Scotch were also connected with the Jacobins, while there was a Germanic royal family that were warring. So it was kind of ambiguous which royal family was the right ones, but they were all in agreement. There were royal families. And they decided to take the wall of Wall Street and tear it down. That's, by the way, why they call it Wall Street, because it was the wall of the Starfort. It really should be called Starfort Street. Yeah. I think we should all sign petitions. Make Starfort Street awesome again. All right. One of my favorite channels, great content, 88 Shinto, my friend and supporter, love and respect. All right, check out 88 Shinto. I'm sure it's a good channel. I mean, you know, I trust Giants Tartarian's opinion. Also, NoFX album, very cool. Oh, I missed that. 88 Shinto was saying stuff. Let me go back a bit. What are you doing with the pilgrim hat? 88 Shinto asked. Well, yeah, because all right, A, it's Williamsburg, it's hipster stuff. B, happy Thanksgiving, happy Tartarian Thanksgiving special, you know? Be grateful. We're all grateful to be here together. Tartarian giving. Tartar Day. Happy. What do you love more than Tartar Day?
Happy Tartar Day.
Happy Tartar Day. We're going to keep. It's kind of in between Canadian and American. What do we call United Statesian? Tartar Day.
Today.
But Starfort Street, drive like you kids start here. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Mr. Cruz gets it. Man. So also, look at this crazy. Look at that. Look at the view of like New York City. I don't know. I'm kind of into it. To be honest, it's good. Witchcraft jokes. Oh yeah. It's gonna come. Someone was telling me that. That's one of the other things. I was like, we gotta do something about Maine and Massachusetts and Salem. I just saw Hocus Pocus because someone was like, your hat, man. But like, yeah, I mean, Puritans and Quakers wore these hats. So it's kind of an interesting thing that you look at all these pictures of the early days, you have bonnets and you have these tall caps that are, you know, wool. And they're used because Puritans and Quakers so the Quakers don't have an authoritative leader of their church, which is one of the things I really like about the Quaker. Like Quaker oats, oatmeal, which we by the cut oats place. They don't have a leader they're supposed to be called the Friends, you know? And pilgrim means, in Spanish, peregrino. So I've always been in Spain when I did the Camino, they call us peregrinos, which means falcon, peregrine falcon, but also pilgrim. So, I don't know. I'm just processing all of this right now because it didn't start with like that much intention, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to definitely culturally appropriate myself around New York City today. That was definitely, that part I can admit to. That was discern movement. So, anybody know what that tower is there? That big point on top of it? You guys seen things like that before? Pretty sure that's the, is that the one? Is that the, I think it is. I think it might be. And then, yeah, there's, okay. Then you see these are those, across the East River, those are the smokestacks. So, I think Quakers and Puritans were coneheads. Yeah, so there's that thought too. So there's the Homo capensis, 4 species of hominids that you probably haven't heard about before. An article you should read by the Smithsonian, because it's funny. They publish, so they're like, oh yeah, you know, the capensis. And there's giants too in there. Oh yeah, but there's not a lot of evidence for it. It was like, oh, you trolls. It was good. It was good. But they admitted they existed, so that was nice. But yeah, so they had why they wore bonnets. Hashtag why they wore bonnets. That's the new Tartarian hashtag. Because the ladies that they took were capensis. There was a lot of redhead ladies that had tall skulls, elongated skulls. And, you know, in general, there's a lot of hominids that subjugated other hominids. You look at Neanderthal and how they were basically destroyed, wiped out, but there was, 1 to 5% still survives. You see that everywhere. look at Floriansis, look at Denisovan, the Slavic Denisovan, the Floriansis in Indonesia. These words don't even work anymore, which is funny. Like, you kind of just have to say Tartarian because it's like, well, at one point, before all this, the real Pangea, like, look at Formosa. There's genetic evidence of these Capensis people that were worshipped, essentially, because they're tall. Makes sense to worship tall people. And they had, elongated skulls, but they had, like, little dwarves they hung out with, which were wizards, so it was like, that's drawn in all the pictures. Etymology. Wait. Did I miss something cool? Hold on. I know I'm like running towards the front. Etymology. Where's the Umpire State Building? Etymology. I don't know. Empire State Building. I gotta work on. I'll tell you what. Black helicopters. I'll tell you what. I don't actually know where every building is in New York City. I'll admit that. I'm working on it. I have a map.
I already asked him. Oh, you need directions, please.
But yeah, like I definitely know Disneyland and better. We'll figure it out. I did drive here. It worked out. But no, I know where I think it is. So this is the East River. All right, let me be real for a second. This is. Turn this thing around so you can see what I'm looking at. This is the East River Park. That's the East River, right? So the East River, north of that is Manhattan. So if that's Manhattan, then that makes sense that was the World Trade Tower, which is my point, basically. So I think that means that the Empire State Building is that direction. And that's my theory.
I didn't know nothing.
So we're gonna go test that. We'll drive over there. I'll probably look on Google first.
I could be helping.
But yeah. But the main thing was like, hey, it's kind of crazy. Like New York City's got all these brick buildings with basements. So I figured we'd have to pull them out and look at them. That one across the street's a more impressive example, but let's get over there. We'll see it.
That's where we came from.
Yeah. Mudflood buildings, here we come. Yeah. All right. Let's get over to the Mudflood building.
We have Brett listening or anybody on the Discord from New York City.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Thanks. Okay. Safe. Crossing the street. So here you got these brick buildings. See, but don't I look like I'm like from here with this hat? I feel like am I wrong? Maybe not. I don't see anyone else wearing one yet, to be
Maybe we're
honest.
not to that area again. Yeah. I thought I'd be seeing more people in these concerts.
Yeah, I think that'll happen. That's what I was worried about. I was like, thank God.
No, I think that you're gonna have to different. Somebody has the same hat here.
Come to New York and still be the only one dressed like myself. Just like I'm so mean.
You are so bad.
So more stone buildings. I just want to get to the next street where we take a right, and then there's a further from the river. Yeah. Crazy, right? Hey, Maggot. How's it going, man? I think that guy thought I was talking to him. I was like, oh no, I'm sorry. Maggot, can you change your name to like Gallant Sweet Prince? Yeah.
We're just soften him up a little bit.
The Octopod. Yes.
God,
Here comes the future. Alright. So is this right? Or further?
Right for what?
It's right for the taking. That's what it is.
Out to lunch.
This is funny. Oh, that's where it was. Okay. So here we go. Crossover. Once you start seeing holes in the ground, that helps.
Are you going to the water tower? That's what you're here.
We could, but I wanted to try to see, like, here's an example.
It changes in
Yeah.
elevation.
Look, so here we go. Basements that go down, stairways, stairway underneath, garage, open apartment, remodel, further stairs down inside. You can see it actually goes down another good bit. So I find that interesting. All the buildings, these basement apartments with letters instead of numbers, as Fight Club called them. Look at that. That's cool. Really interesting. And yeah, the bricks. Always these kind of classic remodels. One big building the size of a block, yes. And it's like, if you go out a bit, there are just really giant houses outside of town, which are like castles that have been turned into all boys schools. Or it's D-Max. Lovely. No, I don't. Where do you want to go? This way? I like these buildings. Flip the camera around so you can see other stuff than my silly hat. Okay. So yeah, isn't it like Spain in the 1890s? Exactly. And the brick buildings are very similar in Connecticut here as well. Electric trains. Yeah, so it was also kind of funny. Yesterday, someone asked us about Tartaria. Then we went, and within a minute or two, we got asked if we wanted tartar sauce with our food from another person. And then we were talking about that later. And we were like, isn't that interesting that happened? And then the TV said,
Tart,
you tarts, you little tarts. Yeah, it was like, it was all at once, and just and then yeah, and Hocus Pocus
at the same time that we said tart.
It was like
They said tart about something different.
Yeah, kind of freaked me out. I was like, okay, there's a lot of synchronicity all at once.
Too much tartar sauce, I think.
In New York, things used to be called New Amsterdam. Historically speaking. Oh, you should stop with that stop sign. It says stop.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And it's New York. We're supposed to be the ones to tell them what to do. They can't California roll in New York. Can I get over this? Might need one. That building, peeling. I like the instantaneousness of our generation. It's like that I can make a video and you can be seeing it like the day I'm here, like of New York.
Right now?
Yeah. And that's the wall. Let me just show you that water tower on top of it. It's not really a hotel.